Hey guys, what's up? It's JR Cuber. Welcome back to Cubed Season 9, Episode 5. So this is the last episode of Season 9, and instead of moving directly into Season 10, I'm going to be changing up things a little bit. So the seasons, as you guys may know, are completely arbitrary. They don't really represent anything. So basically, I'm just going to be going by the month now, so it'll just be cubed, for the month of whatever month it is. So yeah, I think that was going to work better than the seasons, because the seasons don't really make sense. So yeah, I figured now, since we're in the new year, it'd be easiest just to start it now, starting in January. So yeah, that's basically how it's going to go. As you guys may have noticed for the last little bit, I've been adding the month names to the end. So I'm just going to basically transition fully into that. Hope that makes sense. I'm sure it actually makes more sense than the seasons because they don't really mean anything. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get started with this month's average of 12 / Q&A. I'm going to be using my main speed cube, the MF3RS2M. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question comes from D. Watson Cubes. What has been the best moment in your cubing career? So it's hard to choose exactly one moment definitively that I would say is my best moment. In terms of competitively, it would be my PB single, which was like my first sub 10 at NATS 2016. But overall, in general, my best kind of cubing experience, I guess, was NATS 2017 this past year. That was the most amount of fun time I've had at a cubing competition ever. So I just say that experience as a whole was just one of my best times as a cuber. SCXRP, do you feel like you do better with magnetic cubes as compared to something like your Oolong V2 or other cubes of your past? And if so, do you now feel dependent on the magnets to get good times? Well, that's a really interesting question, actually. I think kind of generally we have become more dependent on magnets. For me at least, especially, it's getting harder and harder to use a non-magnetic cube. It just feels too strange now. It just doesn't even feel normal anymore. And it's hard for me to even form an opinion about what I think about a puzzle unless I've tried it with magnets. It's almost like if you haven't tried the cube with magnets before, you can't even really form an opinion on it because of how drastically different a cube can be with or without magnets. So yeah, I think we are kind of dependent on magnets. I definitely am at this point. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing though. FV Cuber, how many subscribers do you think you're going to have before 2018 ends? So my goal for this year is to hit 300,000, which is pretty ambitious, I think. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Hopefully I can at the rate I'm going. But yeah, overall, I try not to think about subscriber counts too much anyway, but it's just a nice goal to have in general. RP, how efficient is your F2L and TPS? What are your tips for someone who is just learning F2L that is not beginner's method? Also, what method do you use for 3x3? So I use CFOP, obviously. My F2L isn't that great still. I'm getting better at it very slowly, but there's still a lot of things that I could be doing better. And my TPS also is pretty fast. I think that's one of the main reasons why my solves are as fast as they are, because of how inefficient I was. If I had a slower TPS, I would be a lot slower, but I tend to just kind of spam turns and try and reduce pauses as much as possible. And that's how I get my faster solves. And as for tips for someone who's just starting out, I don't really have any F2L tip videos, but someone who does is JPerm. Go look up JPerm on YouTube. He's got so many great F2L videos, and just videos for 3x3 in general, as well as other events. So yeah, that would be my advice. Your average human, do you think you will ever forget how to solve a cube? If so, which one do you think you would forget first? So there are lots of non-WCA puzzles that I've forgotten how to solve completely because I've only solved it once. As for like a standard cube, I don't really know. I mean, I can't think I would ever forget how to solve a 3x3 or any big cube even, because of how kind of ingrained the method is into my brain at this point. Like it seems like it's one of those things like learning how to ride a bike. Like once you learn, you never forget it, really. Yeah, I don't think it's really something you forget. Team BBD, what is your worst habit when cubing? Another really great question. Something that I'm trying to work on a lot is doing my AUFs. Actually, I tend to get a lot of +2s when I'm practicing, and it doesn't happen as much in competition, but when it does, it's really annoying, and I'm trying to reduce that. Another thing is sometimes I don't quite fully learn an algorithm, and then I'll end up learning how to do it the wrong way, and then I just learn how to do it the wrong way and then the right way, and that makes it really hard to break the habit of just doing it the right way first. I don't know, it's weird. Like it's strange, and it's something I have to work on. I still have to do that with some of my OLL algs. Seung Ming Hong, do you use any color correction in post-production? Yes, I do. Very minimal amounts though. The amount that I use now is much smaller than what I used to use. I used to do a pretty intensive color correction, and it didn't even look that great back then because I was still learning about it. If you go back and watch some videos from a few months ago, some of them just look really bad because I didn't really know what I was doing. But yeah, all I do now is basically just mess with the exposure levels a little bit so everything is looking good, and maybe tweak the colors just a tad bit. SQ Cuber, are you changing your thumbnail style? So yeah, if you guys look in the past few thumbnails, I've been changing it up a little bit. I don't know if it's permanent. I'm just kind of trying out a couple different things and just getting a little bit more creative with the thumbnails. I think the thumbnails are kind of boring and I want to make them more appealing, but yeah, I have been changing it a little bit. Anyways, those are all the questions I could answer today. If you had a question that didn't get answered or a new question, you can leave it in the comments down below and I might answer it next month. So that was a 12.23 average of 12, so definitely not too bad for me. Yeah, I really like this cube. As you guys can see, I was doing pretty well with it. Got some nice sub 10s in there as well, some pretty low ones. So yeah, that was a really nice average. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to this month's challenge. So this month's challenge comes from Eric Sandel, and he challenged me to solve the 3x3 stage of a 5x5 using one hand with my non-dominant OH hand, which is my right hand. So this is going to be a pretty tricky challenge because even doing 3x3 with my right hand feels really weird. So doing it on a 5x5 is going to be even weirder. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and move the computer back so I have some room because I'm going to need to use the table a lot. So let's go ahead and get started. And here we go. Oh no, I mess it up. Ah, you've got to be kidding me. Uh, 257. Wow, that was terrible. Yeah, like I said, this is a really tricky challenge. If I did not mess up that U-perm, it's likely that I actually could have won because he got about a minute and a half, I think minute and 33 seconds. And I was right about there when I was trying to finish up that U-perm, but I got lost, so yeah, I don't know. It's just it's so easy to do with even just with this hand. It makes so much more sense, but doing it on the opposite hand, it just doesn't work for me. So yeah, anyway, congrats to him for winning the challenge. So that's about it for this month's challenge. If you guys like to submit a challenge for next month, all you have to do is record a video of yourself doing the challenge and then leave a link to that video and a comment down below, and that's how you can submit a challenge for next month. Anyways, that's all for this month's challenge. So on to cubing news, we're going to go over all of the cube releases this month as well as world records. So starting out, we have the MF6 6x6, which is, I'm pretty sure, Mofang Jiaoxi's first 6x6. Then we have the Cube Style Carbon Fiber Kilominx. So this one is a little different from the Shengshao one, also because not just because of the stickers, but also because you have a center color. So you actually do know where the pieces are kind of located. So it actually makes it a little easier in that sense. Then we've got a bunch of Fangxi Limcube 2x2 modifications. So a 2x2 Transform Pyraminx, Transform Pyraminx Octahedron, Rhombohedron, and Purastar. So these look like pretty interesting puzzles. I can't quite tell what the mechanism is based off. It looks like it's a 2x2 type base, but then there's like these circles kind of cut into it, and I'm not really sure how that works exactly, but they look like interesting mods nonetheless. Next up, we've got the MF8 Sun Mum cube. So this one honestly kind of reminds me of the overlapping cube that Tony Fisher made a while ago, just with the two edges kind of connected in the middle. So I don't know how it turns exactly, but I would assume that it turns part of the inside with the outer layers as well, so that you can scramble both of them at the same time. Then we have the X-Men Galaxy Megaminx V2. I just posted a video about this recently. Now in the video I said that it was just the sculpted version, but you can also get the concave version in black and white. You just can't get the standard or convex versions like you had with the version 1. But either way, that's a really good puzzle if you want to check it out. Then we've got the MF4C 4x4, so another Mofeng Jiaoshi budget 4x4. So then we have the spherical cube, which is kind of an oxymoron. So this looks like a 2x2 shape mod that also has circular faces on each side. So that looks pretty interesting, I guess, just kind of a funny name. Then we have the Hello Cube 2x2 gear cube. So this basically just looks like a knockoff of the Meffert's Gear Shift, so just cheaper than that one. Then we have the Z Wave 3x3. So this is a really strange looking 3x3 shape mod. It doesn't really resemble any specific kind of shape, it doesn't seem like. It's just kind of all the pieces are strangely shaped and curved and stuff. Looks kind of neat. Then we have the Shangshao Gem Megaminx, so a budget Megaminx from Shangshao. The Li Fun 2-layer cheese puzzle. So I've seen these kind of cheese puzzles before, but not from this brand. And then we also have the Li Fun 2x2 dart, which looks like a 2-layered Super Square 1 star, which is a puzzle from MF8, I'm pretty sure, that I remember seeing many years ago. It's kind of interesting to see a puzzle like that again. Then we have the Li Fun Mo Yan 1, which is pretty much looks exactly like the Mo Yan puzzle that came out a few years ago. Then we have the Very Puzzle 7-star UFO. So it looks like this has kind of like 7 independent 2x2s kind of around the center, and then the entire thing kind of rotates to shift the 2x2 parts from one to the next. So that looks like a really cool type puzzle actually. Then we have the Cuber's Home Galaxy Megaminx V2M. So if you guys do want to get a magnetic version of that puzzle, you can get it, the mass-produced version. Then we have Iton's Tricube. So this is a really interesting puzzle from Calvin's Puzzle. It is kind of like 3 cubes in one if you look at it from a certain perspective. I actually am going to be unboxing this pretty soon, so go ahead and look out for that as well. Then we have the Cyclone Boys Fei Zhu 3x3M. So this is the newest 3x3 release from Cyclone Boys. Kind of interested in this one actually, so hopefully I'll be getting it pretty soon to check it out, because I kind of actually enjoy Cyclone Boys puzzles. Some of them are pretty good. So then we have a couple more puzzles from Li Fun or Li Fun. I think I'm going to call it Li Fun. I don't know. But this 7x7 is only $17, which is pretty cheap. I've heard it's actually not bad too, which is pretty surprising. And then we have the Li Fun Pyramorphics. Then we also have a cube style twist cube. So the twist cube was originally a Calvin's puzzle, and now we've got a stickerless version here. Then we've got the Landland 3x3 Geary Cube. So on the outside, this puzzle looks like a normal 3x3 just with kind of gear-ish type stickers, but it also has a complete geared mechanism on the inside. So when you turn one layer, it affects the movement of the other layers. So that also looks really interesting. I would be really interested to check that out as well. And finally, we have the Shangshao Fengyuan 4x4. So a little while ago, we had the Fengyuan 3x3. So now there's a 4x4 version. I don't know how the naming things work. If it's like this, the Fengyuan 4x4, is it like adapted from the 3x3 mechanism or something? I don't quite know, but it's just a new Shangshao 4x4. Anyways, that's about it for new releases for this month, so let's go ahead and get on to world records. Alright, so on to world records. First up, we've got 7x7 average, which was broken by Max Park. His improvement rate has actually been incredibly fast. If you go and look at his official averages, how quickly his times dropped, it's amazing. And now he's just got the world record with a 213.12 for 7x7. He also got the record for 6x6 with an average of 125.34. Again, his 6x6 improvement has been ridiculous as well. Then we've got Pyraminx single broken by Timon Kolosinski, I'm pretty sure, something like that, with a single time of 1.20. Then we have 3x3 one-handed average, also broken by Max Park with a 9.99, so just getting that sub 10 average just barely there, which is really impressive. Then we have clock average broken by Tyron Zhang with a 4.95. And then we had the 3x3 world record single, which was tied by Felix Zemdegs. So he also got a 4.59, just like Steve Cho did a couple months ago. So now him and Steve are both technically the world record holders because they are tied with the same time. So that's pretty awesome. Anyways, that's about it for world records for this month. That's also it for cubing news. If you guys like to purchase any any of the cubes I talked about in this video, the links will be down in the description. If you'd like to see the full world record videos, the links will be in the description for those as well. So that's about it for this month's episode of Cubed. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a like. Links to all of my social media pages and my merch store will be linked down in the description below as always. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.